I thought it was about time that I made an updated video about Bookkeeper Launch, what I think of it now, and did I finish it? I'm gonna start by answering some burning questions from you guys that I get a lot, and this is the timestamp where I talk about did I finish Bookkeeper Launch, and this is the timestamp where you get to actually see inside of it. I do a screen record of what it looks like inside and all the modules, and so you can kind of get a feel for it if you're deciding if you want to buy it. So the first question is, how much hands-on experience do they give you? And my answer is a lot. It's very, very thorough in the training, like the QuickBooks training, and they actually give you like a free access to a company that's not the sample company, but they have you set up like a pretend business and do all of the practicing within that. And then I'm going to talk about this a few times probably, but they give you a lot of help and support along the way. So when you have your own clients, you can ask them questions also. Next question, is it self-paced? Yes, totally self-paced. Like, to be helpful, they give you an optional thing where if you follow their like schedule, you can finish the whole course in 3 months, but you definitely don't have to stick to that. You can do it faster or slower. And I still have access, like, however many years later, 3 years later or something. So it's really great because you can always go back and refer to things, which I love. And now I can kind of just do it a la carte, like, oh, I forget this thing, like, and then I can go look it up as a student. And I did want to show you the different links I have in my description box. So this is that old video I did about Bookkeeper Launch. And if you just go to more, I have a link to their frequently asked questions, which is really helpful. This free series is good. It kind of, is like many free series that point you toward buying the class. And then this is the purchase page. And then the syllabus is super helpful too. This says everything that is within the class. So check those links out in my description box. If you did hear about it from me, it helps me out a lot if you use my links. And if you don't know me, my name is Morgan. My website is FinePoints.biz, and I help bookkeepers. If you go to the classes tab on my website, you can see this is Bookkeeper Launch, and these are 2 of the shorter classes that I teach. And I would love it if you subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Someone else was wondering, they have 3 different versions at 3 different price points. Which one is best? I mean, that's kind of hard for me to answer. You can read like what's included. The one of it is a Teams version, so you'll probably know if you need the Teams version, most likely not if you're just starting yourself. The middle one gives you a little bit more hand holding and a few more like one-on-one things. So if you want to pay, I think it's a $500 difference over the course of a year. If that is important to you, then, and maybe it'll help you stay on track, get the middle one. Otherwise, I think the basic one is totally fine. I think it's called Pro. And I will talk about, this is in conjunction with the next one, is it really worth the price? I'll put the prices up as of today. This is what they are. And when you sign up, you are saying that you will pay this amount for 12 months. If you pay it all up front, then you get a significant discount. It says it on there and it depends on which one you get, but it's about $500 cheaper if you pay all at once. So I think that is a really great option if you can do that. So is it worth the price? First of all, I don't want you to go into debt becoming a bookkeeper. I do not think that's necessary. So if you don't have the cash, I would not get this program. And it's also not worth it if you don't complete it. So if you don't have the time or the motivation to go through, most of the course, I don't think you have to do every single thing for it to be worth it. But that being said, if you have the money and the time, I'm pretty sure you will not be disappointed. Like, there is so much information in this course and they give you so much help. They talk about how to set up your business. They go through how to get clients. You're going to see that when I go through the screen share later in the video, but it's so robust and there's so much help and there's such a good community and so many people like just kind of like cheering you on and helping you succeed. I do remember what it's like to be a beginning bookkeeper, and I didn't want to spend any money on my bookkeeping business. I didn't really think I would be doing it in 10 years, which I now am. But in hindsight, if I could go back and tell myself, knowing what I know now, I would definitely invest in the course. And even though it seems like kind of a high dollar amount up front, like the amount that you make as a bookkeeper, you quickly earn that back. You know what I mean? Does the course cover how to get new clients? They basically teach you every step of getting clients. So from marketing to meeting people, and then how to talk to them, and then how to present yourself well to them, and then how to onboard them, once they want to hire you, and then how to send contracts. Very thorough in getting clients. All right, and then a couple people asked about taking the course from outside the US, like Canada or other countries. And here is how they word it in their Q&A. So yes, you can definitely take it from another country. A couple countries, you might have to tweak things a little bit, but overall, yes. Because most of it is not country specific. It's just like skills. So yes, if you're in another country, it's fine. And the next person asks basically, at what point is it best to get this course? And I would say if you know nothing about bookkeeping, you're starting from zero, it's great. If you've been bookkeeping a number of years and you don't need any more clients, it might not be worth it for you, but honestly, still, even at this point in my business, I am definitely gaining value from it. So if you're at the beginning of your business, 100% yes, I'd say so. And this kind of leads me to the question, did I finish Bookkeeper Launch? And what has been my impression of it overall as I go on? So the answer is I did not completely finish Bookkeeper Launch. I didn't go through every single module and take every single test, and I didn't take the final exam, which means that I am not certified in, their program. And really the main reason for that is for time. And when I became a student, I was actually already a bookkeeper, so I didn't need a lot of the foundational QuickBooks training that they provide. And that is a very large percentage of the course. And honestly, I just didn't really feel like studying and taking tests if there wasn't a specific reason for me to do it. That being said, I have gained a lot of help and knowledge from other parts of it. The templates I love. They often have random webinars that they send me emails for. So I'll be like, oh, I want to go to the 1099 webinar this month. Or I will search the Facebook group for a certain question I have. So it's definitely been super helpful, but I didn't take the time to go through 100% of the course. This person wrote me kind of a longer comment trying to figure out if the course is legit. I think they were Googling Ben Robinson, who is the main teacher and the founder, and it genuinely is legit. I promise, if you sign up for it, you'll get what you're expecting. And someone asked me to compare Bookkeeper Launch to Booming Bookkeeping Business, which is another class that I've reviewed and is kind of common with bookkeepers. And I would say both courses give you the same outcome. They give you the training you need to feel confident as a bookkeeper. I'd say the differences are that Bookkeeper Launch is a little more robust, a little shinier, and a bigger community. Booming Bookkeeping is more concise, which actually can be a good thing sometimes. The marketing is more of a focus on that one. And it's just a little bit of a smaller program. The reason that I stopped talking about it so much is because they require a few more steps to sign up. So I think you have to do a call with them, and the pricing isn't super clear right off the bat. So from my perspective, there's just a couple more barriers to signing up, but it is also a good and legit program. All right, so here's what it looks like inside Bookkeeper Launch. And you can see at the top, I'm starting at the roadmap, and I'm gonna explain this to you. And then it's also really helpful to look at the index. So at the top, there are these 5 stars, and this is kind of like their pathway to becoming a bookkeeper. So you can see, like I mentioned, I haven't completed the entire course, every lesson in the course, and I haven't passed all of their tests. But I am QuickBooks certified, I have launched my business, and I have got my first client. All right, so this is kind of set up as a timeline, which I think is really helpful. They've changed this a few times over the years, and I really like this method. So you can start with the orientation, and then it has days 1 to 15, what you should do. And then again, it goes on to days 16 through 30. So then you're starting to set up, you're learning about transactions, you're doing a little bit of marketing. So you're not doing everything in the perfect order in the index, but they have you do bits of it each chunk of time. And then we're going through day 30, and then by day 60, it has you on schedule to take your final exams. And of course, you can do this quicker or slower if you want. All of these have the time that it's going to take you, and then how many lessons, how many tests, and how long it's going to take. So this is 6 hours. This is 9 hours for this chunk of time. So this is really helpful to just have kind of a roadmap, as it's called. And then finishing up in the 3rd month, you're really just working on setting up your business and really trying to get those first few clients. And then after this 90-day mark, they have missions. So mission 1 is serving your first client for 2 months. And these are some of the lessons that are going to help you serve your first client for those 2 months. And then mission 2 is getting more clients, basically. So this is just a really nice way that is laid out. It tells you how long it's going to take you so you can kind of plan your life. I'm also going to show you the index because I actually use this index page a whole lot. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So as it sounds, this is just an easier way to find those types of lessons that you want. So this is skills. So a lot of stuff is in this transactions, I believe it is. So when I click on this, you can see everything that you're learning. There's 18 lessons just about bank feeds and reconciliations. And I can actually go in here and show you a little bit what that looks like. But the point is, this is all your bookkeeper skills. And then it goes on to all your client skills, how to get clients. So I'm going to show you kind of just what the lessons look like really quick. And then I'll show you what the client part looks like too. So again, even within this transactions, there's all these things. So let's see what they have to say about equity. There's an introduction to equity. There's owner contributions, distributions. So there's all these things. And then Ben teaches some of the lessons. And then he also has some other teachers in here. So this is like a 5-minute lesson all about owner distributions. So you can watch this. There's also a transcript. You can download all the words they're saying, or you can listen to it just as audio, which is also helpful. I love that. And then you can mark it complete once you've watched that. So just going back to the index. So we talked about all your bookkeeper skills, and all of these have tests through each one, and then your final exam is there as well. So once you pass all of these, the final exam, you'd click on this. And I have heard that this is very much based on each of these exams. So if you are passing these and understanding these, then you should be able to do the final exam without too much trouble. And you can see they have a very robust section all about clients. So a lot of these are about networking. So Yakety Yak is like chatting with people you know about how you started a bookkeeping business. Then they have different kinds of online networking, traditional. And then they also teach you when you have a potential client, how to interact with them. So that is their irresistible selling statement. So you are supposed to review the client's books and then come out with, little presentation for the client. And then hopefully, they would hire you. They're talking about niches, how important those are, and then how to follow up on potential clients. So tons of stuff all about clients. And I actually love this systems section. Setup 7 is setting up your business. If you've been around my channel a little bit, I have a course that is just this Setup 7. So it's like creating your business name, getting your website set up, creating your LLC, like all that kind of stuff. So that is the Setup 7. So my class is a lot shorter and less expensive, but that's because it's just this tiny little piece of like this whole thing. So if you're just looking for help with that, then you could check out my course. Something I find really valuable in this course also is the checklists and then the templates. So let's look at templates really quick. So this is the template library. They have a pricing calculator. They have this consultation thing. They have all these proposal types. So you can basically just change the wording on these and then send those to your clients. I personally don't really use these. I think they're a little more robust and wordy than is my style, but that's all there for you. And then just look at all the stuff that they have, like tons of stuff. A disengagement letter if you want to fire a client, sample companies, chart of accounts, just like a lot of things that are very, very useful. But that's not all. Now I'm going to go and show you what's on this live calls tab here. So it's actually really nice because now they have their calls broken up into client coaching. So if you have questions about clients, and course coaching. So if you have questions about like going through the course. And then they also have a legal lunch, which I also love and find really helpful. So you can see these are once a week for an hour on Wednesdays. These are on Thursdays. And then of course you can watch all of the recordings if you aren't able to tune in right then. And for all of these, you can submit questions. So let's just go to the client tab and see what they talk about. So this is about 1099. So any questions that people had about creating 1099s. Then they talk about cleanups on this one. So they kind of have themes, but these are helpful as well. So a lot of it is just how much time and effort you are willing to put in because there's so many resources out here. All right, and then under the support team, I talk a lot about this. They provide a lot of support in this program. So if you go to this help tab, it will give you the student success team, which is an email address that you can email anytime and they'll get back to you about your questions. Here are some other frequently asked questions. I mean, just stuff like this, like what should I say if someone says my price is too high? Like that's an interesting question, right? And then they also have a Facebook group that I'm going to show you next. So this is just a quick screenshot of their private Facebook group that you can be in if you sign up for the program. There is 11,000 members, and you can see just like people are asking like quick questions. Like people will ask questions about their clients. So they're like, how do I categorize this thing? And then this was 9 minutes ago, and then someone has already started replying. So same with this. This is 30 minutes ago, and someone, asked a question about one of their clients again. And there's files that people share. So this is actually one of my favorite things. I'm not really the style as much that likes to listen to like an hour call. I like the Facebook group because you can like search for things, and then also you can get your questions answered by actual people. And the people that are answering are usually other students. And I think they obviously have some admin people too that are helping out as well. But this, I think, is a very, very valuable resource.